The opening scene features a young boy named Charlie Bucket who's watching delivery trucks leave a chocolate factory. The boy lives with his poor family of 6 members, which includes his father, mother, and 2 sets of grandparents. Due to their low living standards, they eat cabbage as their everyday meal. Charlie's father works in a toothpaste factory, and despite his efforts, he is underpaid. One night, Charlie's father brings him some broken toothpaste caps, enabling him to finally finish the miniature of Wonka's chocolate factory he created. Later, he speaks with one of his grandfathers, Grandpa Joe, who reveals that he once worked at Wonka's chocolate factory. According to Grandpa Joe, Willy Wonka started his business by selling chocolates on the side of the road, and due to high demand, he eventually built a massive chocolate factory. Wonka's success was at the peak because even an Indian prince invited him to build a chocolate palace in his country. No doubt, he built it, but it did not last long because it began to melt due to the hot weather. With greater success comes greater risk, due to which Wonka also started to experience difficulties. Rival companies began sending spies to steal his secret chocolate recipe. As time passed, various chocolates started to rise on the market using Wonka's secret recipe. So in the end, Wonka fired all of his employees and declared the factory closed. Hearing this, Charlie informs Grandpa Joe that the Wonka chocolate factory has reopened, producing even more delectable candies than before. But currently, the gates are closed, preventing anyone from entering or exiting the factory. Regardless, Grandpa Joe is eager to see the factory again. One night, several people cycle out of the Wonka chocolate factory and paste announcement flyers on city poles. According to the announcement, Willy Wonka has hidden 5 golden tickets in Wonka chocolate bars, and the lucky recipients will be able to tour his factory, with a special prize awaiting one of them. The news quickly spreads around the world, prompting the entire world to buy Wonka chocolate bars in the hopes of finding the golden tickets. Despite the fact that Charlie's family cannot afford the chocolates, he's optimistic that he'll find a golden ticket. From the television show, Charlie and his family learn that the first golden ticket is discovered by the son of a prominent butcher named Augustus from Germany. The second ticket has also been discovered by a spoiled girl named Veruca Salt, whose father owns a peanut company. While Charlie is watching the news, his parents arrive home with a Wonka chocolate bar as a birthday gift for him. Everyone in the family is eager to open the chocolate, hoping to find the golden ticket, but unfortunately, there is nothing inside. Despite the disappointment, Charlie still smiles and shares the chocolate with his family members. According to reports, the third golden ticket has been found by a Taekwondo athlete named Violet Beauregard, who holds the world record for chewing the same gum for 3 months. Violet claims that after learning about the golden tickets, she stopped chewing the gum and switched to candy, which resulted in her winning the golden ticket. Furthermore, the fourth golden ticket is discovered in Colorado by a boy named Mike TV, who spends a lot of time playing video games. After watching the news of the fourth golden ticket discovery, Charlie turns off the television and asks his father why he isn't going to work. It turns out that his father has been fired from the toothpaste factory because now robots and modern machinery have replaced manual labor. The next day, we see Charlie standing in front of the Wonka chocolate factory. On his way back home, he finds a dollar bill on the snow-covered road. Without thinking twice, he grabs the money, dashes to the nearest candy store, and purchases a Wonka chocolate bar. He immediately opens the chocolate and, to his surprise, he finds the final golden ticket, which makes him ecstatic. Seeing this, the people in the store try to convince the boy to sell them the golden ticket. A woman even offers $500 for it, but Charlie refuses. Following this, he runs back home and shows the golden ticket to his family. His father goes through the ticket, which states that the winners may bring one member of their family as a companion. Grandpa Joe is thrilled to accompany Charlie, but the young boy decides to pass up the opportunity and sell the golden ticket because they need money rather than chocolates. Hearing this, Charlie's other grandfather explains that money is printed every day, but visiting the Wonka chocolate factory is a once-in-a-lifetime opportunity. This finally convinces Charlie, and he agrees to seize the opportunity. On the long-awaited day, A crowd gathers outside Wonka's chocolate factory to catch a glimpse of the eccentric Willy Wonka. The gate opens at exactly 10 a.m., and the 5 winners, along with their guardians, are welcomed inside by a puppet show. Shortly after the show, Willy Wonka shows up and leads them inside the factory. At first, he takes them to the heart of the chocolate factory, a beautiful garden where everything is edible. He then allows his guests to wander around the garden and eat whatever they want. The greedy Augustus doesn't waste any time and starts devouring everything he sees. After a while, Veruca points out the dwarves who are working in the garden. When Charlie notices this, he inquires about them, to which Wonka replies that they're the Oompa Loompas from Loompa Land. He goes on to say that he found them a few years ago when he visited Loompa Land in order to explore new flavors for his candies. There, he learned that the Oompa Loompas adore cocoa beans, which are grown in limited quantities. Since cocoa beans are the main ingredient in making chocolate, Wonka offered them to work in his factory in exchange for an unlimited supply of cocoa beans. Meanwhile, Augustus begins drinking from the chocolate river. Unfortunately, he falls into it and is sucked up into a pipe, leading to the fudge room. Just then, the Oompa Loompas appear and sing a song. The song's lyrics mention the story of the greedy Augustus. Following this, Wonka instructs one of the Oompa Loompas to direct Augustus's mother to the fudge room so that she can meet her son. The chocolate factory tour continues as Wonka leads the guests to a colorful boat sailed by Oompa Loompas. During the boat ride, Charlie questions Wonka about his childhood, prompting him to recall his past. The film then flashes back to the past when Wonka and his friends go around the neighboring house on Halloween to get the chocolates. However, his father, Wilbur Wonka, a famous dentist, forbids him from eating any chocolates, claiming that it's bad for his teeth. Being a dental health freak, he even puts strange braces on Willy Wonka. At present, the boat passes through a tunnel, and during this, Wonka shows different rooms of the factory. Eventually, they come across an invention room where Wonka performs all of his secret inventions. Upon heading inside, he displays his various inventions, including the machine that produces Everlasting Gobstopper. He claims that the Everlasting Gobstopper never shrinks, and that they can be sucked indefinitely. Next, he introduces them to a unique gum that functions as a 3-course meal. Violet is tempted to eat it, and despite Wonka's disapproval, she consumes it, causing her body to turn up like a blueberry. The Oompa Loompas then appear and sing a song with allusions to her in the lyrics. Violet, whose body has swollen up, is rolled into the juicing room, followed by her mother. After this, Wonka leads the guests to a room where some squirrels are seen sorting and peeling the nuts. This mesmerizes Veruca, so she demands a trained little squirrel. Her father asks Wonka to set a price for one, but he refuses to sell it. Enraged, Veruca storms downstairs and heads straight for the squirrels. Unexpectedly, all of the squirrels attack her. They tap her head and push her into a large hole, leading into a garbage chute, followed by her father. As expected, the Oompa Loompas appear and sing a song about Veruca. Their factory tour continues in an elevator that can travel at high speeds in all directions. During this time, they see a chocolate mountain, the puppet hospital, as well as the administrative center. In the midst of this, Charlie has an argument with Mike, prompting Wonka to recall his father, who had stated that he would not allow Charlie to become a chocolatier. As a result of this, Wonka had fled to the World Candy Center in Switzerland. In the elevator, Mike is curious about the television room, so he presses the elevator button, which takes them there. Upon entering, Wonka instructs them to put on their goggles because the light in the room can harm their eyes. The room seems to be another invention room where an experiment is being conducted to transmit and beam a large chocolate bar to television channels. After witnessing this, Mike is intrigued, so he uses the machine on himself, transforming into a miniature version of himself. Following this, the Oompa Loompas come out to sing a song with lyrics mentioning the drawbacks of television. Then Mike's father reaches into the television and pulls out his son, who is now a miniature. In order for him to regain his original size, Wonka orders the Oompa Loompas to transport him to the taffy pulling room. Finally, Wonka declares Charlie the winner because he's the only child who has passed all stages of the tour. They then re-enter the elevator, shoot up, and fly away from the factory. From the elevator hovering in the sky, they can see the guests leaving the factory one after another. They first notice Augustus, who has been filled with chocolate, then Violet, whose body has returned to normal size, but she's still purple. Behind her, they see Veruca and her father, whose body is covered in garbage, and they're followed by Mike, who has become very tall and extremely thin. After this, Wonka lands the elevator on Charlie's house. The young boy introduces his family to Willy Wonka, who then announces that Charlie is the heir to Wonka's chocolate factory. He also invites him to live in the factory forever. Before answering him, Charlie inquires if he can bring his family with him, to which Wonka says no. Hearing this, Charlie declines the offer, stating that he will not give up his family for anything. Wonka is taken aback by the situation because it's completely unexpected for him. He then sadly gets back to his elevator and departs. From the next day, Charlie's family life starts improving. His father is hired in the same toothpaste factory as a technician for repairing the machines that had replaced him earlier. Charlie also gets a part-time job as a shoe cleaner. One day, Charlie is cleaning the shoes of a customer who turns out to be none other than Willy Wonka. He asks Charlie what he would do if he was sad. The boy responds that he would go to his family. He also asks Wonka if he wants to meet his father and learn more about what family means in his life. When Wonka agrees, the two of them go to Wonka's father's place. Upon arriving there, they notice that his father has gathered all of the news about Wonka's chocolate factory, proving his father's pride in him. Wonka pretends to have his teeth checked, and soon after, his father recognizes him. As a result, the father and son embrace, joyfully reuniting. At the end, Charlie finally wins the chocolate factory, and Willy Wonka receives something even better: a family.